we talk about Jimmy Rivera versus Cody Stamann going down this Wednesday on Fight Island. Fight Island continues, people. This is actually, there are some interesting fights on this card. Like, when you look at it on the face of it, it's not like a kind of star-studded card by any means, but there are some very interesting fights on here. This one has really piqued my interest because both of these fighters, they're extremely good. Jimmy Rivera, I've been high on for a long time. He's hit a bit of a rough patch lately, but he is an extremely talented fighter. Don't get that twisted. He was coming up a couple of years ago, and then he ran into Marlon Moraes, who, and at the time, I thought Jimmy Rivera was looking like the stronger prospect, and Marlon Moraes put him away with that devastating head kick. And since then, I mean, Rivera's, I don't know, he's kind of taken a bit of a nosedive. He's lost his last two fights. He got beaten by Peter Yan. There's no shame there, really, because obviously Peter Yan has now gone on to win the belt, and there's no shame being beaten by the best. But Jimmy Rivera really needs to get back on track, because if you lose 3 in a row, that can be curtains for your, contract negotiations. And it'd be a shame, because Jimmy Rivera is extremely talented. His leg kicks, his low calf kick in particular, is fire. It's absolutely brilliant. If he kicks you in the calf, you will not walk right for days. That's what she said. And like I said, he's lightning fast. He's so quick. It's hard to gauge who's going to be the quickest out of him and Cody Stamann, but I know, Joe, we've seen before that Rivera is very, very quick. His chin is pretty good as well. I mean, Peter Yan, he hit him with some big shots and tried to put him away. I mean, would he have put him away if all the big shots that Peter Yan landed weren't right at the end of the round? Who knows? But either way, I think his chin can hold up, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's a kind of double-edged sword here, because he's coming off 2 losses. The third, like I said, is curtains. Now, fighters can react differently depending on who they are. As to, the pressure of having your job on the line, that's a lot of pressure. That's either going to make him fight better or worse. And I don't know what's going to be. We won't know until Wednesday night. So, that is why, looking at this, Cody Stamann, we last saw him come in against Brian Kelleher. He came in against Brian Kelleher. He looked fantastic. He usually fights at 135, so obviously he's now come up to 145, and he looks sensational. But I mean, I don't know how that guy ever made 135. I mean, look at the size of him. When you watch this fight, because you should watch this fight, because this has potential to be fight of the night. I'm not kidding. These two match up like really well against each other. It's going to be a really fun, physical fight, and they're both going to be coming to win. Like, it's spectacular as well. Jimmy Rivera, he's probably feeling the pressure. Like I said, those 2 losses, he's going to be coming forward, and Cody Stamann is more than happy to meet him, as he did with Brian Kelleher. Brian Kelleher is a tough opponent, because Kelleher can bang, man. He can. Like, he can knock people out on a whim. And the fact that Stamann defensively looked extremely good against Kelleher. He just looked very tight, very, very just competent. And he just, like I said, Kelleher has got some really dangerous shots, and Stamann, he avoided them all. Stamann's very fast. He's got excellent power, because, I mean, like I said, I don't know how he ever made 135, because he's thick. He's in Brendan Schaub's thick boy fight club. I'm telling you, he is thicker than a Snickers. He's just, if you look at his legs, he's just like, his quads, man. They're ridiculous. And that means that he's, like I said, he's just got a lot of power. He's just a physical specimen. So, and he pressures really well. He goes forward very, very well. One thing that I did notice is Jimmy Rivera, he's not particularly good at fighting going backwards. If he's pressuring, if he's controlling the fight, Jimmy Rivera is excellent. He's as good as there is, really. But when he starts being pushed backwards, he starts to go to pieces a little bit. And Cody Stamann is a plus 2.20 underdog in this fight. Now, I like that. I like those odds, because Jimmy Rivera is the favourite in this one. Now, whilst Jimmy Rivera, I don't know. He's just not. He's hit a rough patch. He's not looked good lately. You know, Jimmy Rivera of 2016, 2017. Yeah, I would say absolutely make him the heavy favourite. I mean, it's not like he's a heavy favourite, but still, he's still the favourite. But Cody Stamann being the plus 2.20, I am going to have a go on that. Because as long as his cardio holds up, and it should, it held up against Kelleher. I mean, but his defence is so good. Stamann evaded 80% of Kelleher's strikes in the first round of their fight. And it's just, if you look at the people that Stamann has managed to kind of look good against. He looked good against Song Yadong. Song Yadong is an absolute beast. He's a very good fighter. And he held him to a draw. I mean, obviously it's not a win, but it's not a loss either. So that kind of tells you where Cody Stamann is heading to. Whereas Jimmy Rivera, he had all this potential and he was looking great and he's just taken a nosedive. And in sports, it's about momentum. It's all about momentum. Cody Stamann has that momentum. As an underdog in this fight, I bloody love him as an underdog in this fight. I've had Cody Stamann just straight up plus 2.20 to win. No, that's worth a tenner all day. Why not? Because I don't think it's just he's got a chance of winning this. I think it's in fact very likely, which obviously means if you know my betting track record, bet the house on Jimmy Rivera, because the opposite always happens. But yeah, anyways, keep those bets terrible by all means. If you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. We can have a chat about it. Do you know what I mean? Keep it civil though. Do you know what I mean? We can have different opinions and still have a conversation about it. But whatever you do, if you're not going to comment, just like and subscribe. Fantastic. Keep those bets terrible. I'll catch you later.